Hello, it's Bobi aka Paginator, and we're here for our September TBR game. So summer's done, basically. I'm back to school teaching and we're settling into the routine of things, and it's time to figure out what I'm going to read in the month of September. So I'm going to be returning to my TBR Pursuit game inspired by Jade at JD Rereads. And before I get into the game, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who watched my Let's Chat video and who said nice supportive things. There were a couple of comments that I was like, you made that about you somehow, but okay. But for the most part, people were very kind and understanding. If you missed that video, I just said that I'm going to be making a few changes to the channel and probably not posting as often, maybe once a week instead of two, and that kind of thing, and Craftoween will look different. So if you want to hear more details about that, go check out my Let's Chat video. I will link it in the description below if you want to find it. So having said that, let's get into the game, and let's go do some rolls. Alright, apologies for the glare down here. I think we're ready to roll, so let's get going with roll number 1. 5. So we can go any direction. And let's go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pink YA. So pink pie in here. Got our cards. The last time we played this version of the TBR game, we had used pretty much the whole deck. So we started over. We've used one actually. All right, so we're gonna draw a card and choose the pink prompt. NetGalley read. Okay, I'm gonna have to get on NetGalley and see what I've got there that looks interesting. Okay, so rule number 1, we need to do a NetGalley read, and so I was looking at, excuse you. Some people think they need to drive really loud trucks and motorbikes and stuff on this road. My apologies. Rule number 1, we got a NetGalley read and needs to be young adult. So I looked to see what I had, and I have one by Jen Bennett, who I've read from before and quite enjoyed. So this one is The Prince of Morning, and the description on NetGalley says the following. After receiving a strange summons, 18-year-old nursing student Molly O'Rin finds herself in the private live-in nurse for a wealthy young man in his haunting Hudson Valley mansion. But after arriving at his secluded estate, Molly discovers that her handsome employer is not what he seems, and most surprising of all is what rests deep inside the mansion's walls. Perhaps not what, but who. A young man about Molly's age, at least in appearance, is a prisoner of the estate, locked behind magical barriers. Nin is royalty, the son of a legend. He is not human, not of this world, and not like anyone Molly has ever met. Molly should stay away from him, but Nin is a terrifying yet strangely attractive being, and soon both Molly and Nin find themselves drawn to each other, sparked by a connection neither of them can deny. But as the two become entangled in a forbidden affair, outside forces start to press in, because Nin's legendary father is looking for his son, and he's not the only one. To keep Molly safe, Nin must find a way back to his realm or suffer the consequences, even if it means choosing his princely duty over love. So it sounds like it could be quite dark, actually, but also intriguing. So we'll see how that goes. Roll number 2. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orange. I want to go to orange. Let's go orange pie in there. All right, we're going to draw a card. Orange sky in the title or on the cover. Rule number 2, we have miscellaneous, so it could be any age category, any genre, but we need a sky in the title or on the cover. And excuse you again, holy cow. We have a book with an interesting sky. We have Heir of Storms. This is by Lauren Hamilton Murray, and this is a Fairy Loot edition, so it does come with overlays, and it has beautiful sprayed edges. So you will have heard about this in a Fairy Loot unboxing, but it's been a while, so let's read the synopsis. Blaze, a rain singer, is born into one of the most powerful fire-wielding families in the Empire. Her birth summoned a devastating storm that resulted in the deaths of thousands, and she has spent her life as an outsider, reviled and feared. When Blaze and her twin brother Flint are selected to compete in the choosing right, the trials which decide the future rulers of the Empire, she's suddenly thrust into the limelight and into battle. Threats abound at the Golden Palace, where intrigue and romance await. Threats abound at the Golden Palace, where intrigue and romance await with not one but two handsome suitors, the enchanting crown prince and a dangerously alluring newcomer at court. As her powers strengthen and her fellow competitors fall, the throne is suddenly within her grasp. But in order to take the crown, she'll have to leave behind the stories that others have told about her and find the courage to write her own. Rule number 3. 2. 1, 2 pink, 1, 2 orange. Oh. Let's go here. The 3 dots means I can roll again. Since I've already used those 2 colors straight away, let's see if we can roll something else. 1, 2, 3 yellow, 1, 2, 3 green. Let's go yellow for fantasy. Yellow pie in here. Yellow, first in a series. Rule number 3, fantasy, the first in a series. I have Powerless, which is the first in a series by Lauren Roberts. And I think I actually have the audiobook of this through a teacher audiobook library service. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now. And it's not coming to my head. But anyway, I might listen to it or I might read it physically. We'll see. But Powerless, the synopsis says, the elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born in ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilya and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. But when she unwittingly saves one of Ilya's princes, Kai Azar, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elites' powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers what Peyton is, completely ordinary. So a couple of my students started reading the series last year, and they absolutely loved it. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Rule number 4. 2. 1, 2 green, 1, 2 yellow. Let's go for a green. Green pie in here. Green, an audiobook. Green is middle grade, so I need to find a middle grade audiobook. Rule number 4, we need an audiobook that's a middle grade. So I got on Libby and just kind of looked at what audiobooks were available to check out. And I found one that's been nominated for a Youth Media Award here in the state of Wyoming, where I live. It is The Legend of the Last Library by Frank L. Cole, and it has a pretty good rating on Goodreads, actually. Here's what the synopsis says. After a devastating blight killed off all the trees, paper is worth more than just about anything. Junie's parents died when she was young, so now it's just her and Grandpa Edgar. When she's not at school, Junie and her friends, Doler and Quays, turn to plifting, scavenging for any paper they can find. If Junie can find enough paper, she can pay for the healthcare Grandpa needs. So when Junie discovers a book, the first one she's ever seen, hidden in a box in her grandpa's closet, she's both surprised and elated, thinking of the money she could get for it. That all changes when she decides to read the book. Beyond opening her imagination, the book contains clues that point to what could be the last library on Earth. The library's location has been hidden for more than 100 years, but Junie and her friends are not the only ones looking for it. Ulred O'Donnell, head of R&D for Novexus, a megacorporation that replaced the government and now controls all information, is desperate to find the library as well. With an army of vicious robot dogs at his command, Ulred warns Junie to abandon her quest or else. Junie and her friends must find the library and share it with the world before Novexus claims it as their own. If reading one book could change Junie's life, what would access to thousands or millions of books do? Now, when this video goes up, let's see, today's Tuesday. Yeah, so this will still be going on. There is a Goodreads giveaway going on for this book. So if you are a Goodreads person, get in there and browse giveaways, and you will find this one. If it sounds interesting, you can enter the giveaway for that one. I'm entering it right now because why not? The giveaway ends on September 1st for this book. Roll number 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue. Let's go to blue. Blue pie here. Blue blank outfit match. Okay. Rule number 5, we got an outfit match, and this could be any age category, any genre. I got this one. I have a purple shirt on today, and this book is purple. It even has purple sprayed edges. This is a middle grade book. It is The Whisper Wicks, The Labyrinth of Lost and Found by Jordan Lees. And here is what the back of the book says. 11-year-old Benjamiah Creek believes in science, logic, and the power of reason. He definitely does not believe in magic, but when he receives a mysterious doll in the mail, a doll that can transform into a bird, he's led into an impossible and most definitely magical world, Riethenwold. Riethenwold is a dangerous place, and it holds many secrets within its labyrinthine walls. Monsters lurk, hanged men stalk, and at the center of its shifting, unchartable streets lives the Minotaur, a beastly creature who is an object of fear and terror. In no time at all, Benjamiah is swept into a perilous adventure with the fierce and brilliant Elisabella, a girl determined to solve the disappearance of her missing brother, who may be caught up in a decades-old conspiracy that could doom them all. Will Benjamiah ever find his way home, or will he be lost forever in the labyrinth? If my voice starts to go, I apologize. I have been talking almost all day for 2 school days straight, just talking, because that's how the first few days of school go. Rule number 6. 2. I've run a lot of 2s today. 1, 2 yellow, 1, 2 green. Let's go yellow. Yellow pie in there. Oh, come on, little pie. And fantasy, not a debut. So it just has to be an author's second, third, whatever book, just not their first one. Rule number 6 is a fantasy that's not a debut. So I have A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim. Also a book with sprayed edges, very shiny. This is an author that I have read from before. She wrote 6 Crimson Cranes, and what else have I read by her? Let's see if they have a little book list. I read Spin the Dawn and Unravel the Dust and Dragon's Promise. I don't think I've read her Radiant Curse, so yeah. Anyway, this is definitely not a debut. Let's read the synopsis. Truyan Segas didn't choose to become a con artist, but after her father is lost at sea, it's up to her to support her mother and 2 younger sisters. A gifted art forger, True has the unique ability to paint the future, but even such magic is not enough to put her family back together again or stave off the gangsters demanding payment in blood for her mother's gambling debts. Left with a few options, True agrees to a marriage contract with a mysterious dragon lord. He offers a fresh start for her mother and sisters and elusive answers about her father's disappearance, but in exchange, she must join him in his desolate undersea palace and paint a future so treasonous it could upend both the mortal and immortal realms. That sounds quite interesting. I love the idea of painting the future. That sounds cool. All right, we're going to swap out for our second pie. We've used almost all the colors already. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellow. Let's go blue. Blue pie in there. Wild card. So this can be anything that I want to read or need to read. I can just pick anything. Awesome. Roll number 7, blue blink, a wild card. So this I could go for kind of anything. So I just kind of perused my shelves, and one book really stuck out to me that I'd love to read so that I can pass it along to my students if it's any good. This is Dead Flip. The author is Sarah Farizan, and this book is giving me Stranger Things vibes. So let's read what it's about. Growing up, Corey, Maz, and Sam were inseparable best friends, sharing their love for Halloween, arcade games, and one another. Now it's 1992. Sam has been missing for 5 years, and Corey and Maz aren't speaking anymore because Corey is sure Sam is dead, and Maz thinks he may have been kidnapped by a supernatural pinball machine. These days, all Maz wants to do is party and run away from his past. Meanwhile, Corey is hiding her abiding love of horror movies and her queer self under the bubblegum veneer of a high school queen bee. But when Sam returns, somehow still 12 years old, Maz and Corey are thrown back together to figure out what really happened to Sam the night he went missing. Beneath the surface of that mystery lurk secrets the friends never told one another then and now, and Sam's is the darkest of all. So yeah, is it going to be exactly like Stranger Things? No, of course not, but similar vibes, you know what I mean. Roll number 8. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brown. We haven't done a brown yet, so let's go there. Brown is for realistic. We need a brown pie here. G's card deck. All right, the cards are in the other room. I'm gonna go grab them real quick and I'll be right back. All right, I've got G's card deck here. If for some reason I draw a prompt that requires a non-realistic book, for example, it says has magic in it, I will redraw because this is supposed to be a realistic book prompt. Southern Water Tribe, book with snow on the cover or a white cover. Okay, I think we can probably figure that out. Rule number 8, we had to pick a card from G's deck and her TBR Avatar game, and we got Southern Water Tribe, a snow on the cover or a white cover. So I got one that has a mostly white cover. This is The Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff. It is one that I got from Book of the Month quite a while ago, so I really need to get to it. This says, in the tall black wall of the palisade, through a slit too seeming thin for human passage, words, the girl climbed into the great and terrible wilderness. A servant girl escapes from a colonial settlement into the night. She carries nothing with her but her wits, a few possessions, and the spark of God that burns hot within her. What she finds in this terra incognita is beyond the limits of her imagination and will bend her belief in everything that her own civilization has taught her. The Vaster Wilds is at once a thrilling adventure story and a penetrating fable about trying to find a new way of living in a world succumbing to the churn of colonialism. That's a lot of words. A work of raw prophetic power, it tells the story of America in miniature through one girl at a hinge point in history to ask how and if we can adapt quickly enough to save ourselves. So this idea of being in a colonial settlement really appeals to me, and I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Roll number 9. 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hang on. There's a little hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Orange. Let's go for pink. Pink is YA. Any genre. YA, my card deck. Oh, I get to go back to the other room again. Should have just brought all of the things out. All right, here is my little tin of cards. We'll get those dumped out, shuffled. Oops, that one's flipped over. Why are some of these flipped the wrong way? Okay, we're pulling out a card. Read a book with a season in the title. Rule number 9, we need a young adult book with a season in the title. We had to use one of my cards. This book doesn't have the actual name of a season in the title, but some people might consider part of this title a season, and it screams a particular season. We have pumpkin spice and everything nice. I know one of my coworkers lives for the day when Starbucks has their pumpkin spice latte, and it's just, yeah. But this screams fall, right? So it's about as close as I can get here. Lucy Kane hates pumpkin spice lattes, which is a problem because Lucy lives in the quaint New England town of Briar Glen, where everyone loves all things autumn, and she's a barista at her mom's coffee shop, Cup of Joe. As the first fall leaves descend upon Briar Glen, Lucy and her mom gear up for a busy season. But then Java Junction, a multinational coffee chain, opens a store literally across the street, home of the world-famous pumpkin spice latte. To make matters worse, it turns out that Jack Harper, the new kid in school and Lucy's secret crush, is the son of the owners. Talk about mixing business with pleasure. If a Cup of Joe wants to survive the competition from Java Junction, Lucy will have to set aside her feelings for the popular drink and Jack to make this the coziest, pumpkin spiciest season ever. This sounds really cute. It's giving me Stars Hollow vibes from Gilmore Girls, and yeah. Random side note, speaking of Gilmore Girls, so I was doing some family history and I found a distant cousin whose last name was Gilmore, and I was like, oh, I'm related to a Gilmore Girl. I'm a nerd, I know. Alrighty, rule number 10. 2. 1, 2 yellow, 1, 2 pink. Let's go yellow. Fantasy 5-star prediction. All right. Rule number 10, fantasy 5-star prediction. So I'm going to go with Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. I've absolutely loved the 2 books that I've read by T. Kingfisher. I love her writing. So I'm predicting 5 stars for this one. It says, Healer Anja regularly drinks poison. not to die, but to save, seeking cures for those everyone else has given up on. But a summons from the king interrupts her quiet, herb-obsessed life. His daughter Snow is dying, and he hopes Anja's unorthodox methods can save her. Aided by a taciturn guard, a narcissistic cat... That just sounds so funny, a cat that's narcissistic. Wait, aren't all cats kind of narcissistic, though? Anyway, and a passion for the scientific method, Anja rushes to treat Snow, but nothing seems to work. That is until she finds a secret world hidden inside a magic mirror. This dark realm may hold the key to what is making Snow sick, or it might be the thing that kills them all. Roll number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, pink. Tough choice there. All right, I need another YA. Ooh, bones or skeleton in the title or on the cover. Roll number 11, YA, book with bones or skeleton in the title or on the cover. I'm going to go with a book that I have had on my TBR for years. The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. Nothing stays buried forever. 17-year-old Rin cares about only two things, her family and her family's graveyard, and right now both are in dire straits. Since the death of their parents, Rin and her siblings have been scraping together a meager existence as grave diggers in the remote village of Colbrin, which sits at the foot of a harsh and deadly mountain range that was once home to the Fae. The problem with being a grave digger in Colbrin, though, is that the dead don't always stay dead. The risen corpses are known as bone houses, and legend says they're the result of an old curse. When Ellis, an apprentice map maker with a mysterious past, arrives in town, the bone houses attack with a new ferocity. What is it that draws them near? And more importantly, how can they be stopped for good? Together, Ellis and Rin embark on a journey that will take them into the heart of the mountains, where they will have to face both the curse and the deeply hurried truths about themselves. So, are we gearing up for spooky season? Yes, we are. All right, last roll. Roll number 12. 1, 2 orange, 1, 2 brown. Let's go orange, because it's my favorite color. Miscellaneous, 2 of the same letter in the title. Roll number 12, we needed, or as miscellaneous, so any age, any genre. 2 of the same letter in the title. I have another Fairy Loot edition book. This is the Night Blood Prince. This was in the July Fairy Loot box, I think. I think it was July. So it wasn't that long ago that we saw this, but here we go. It says, "The night Fae was born, a prophecy was made. She would one day become the empress of all empresses. Torn from her family as a child and raised in a palace to one day marry the crown prince of the most powerful empire in the land, Fae has only ever known loneliness. When the opportunity arises to seize her own destiny for the first time in her life, Fae sets out to hunt a legendary tiger, knowing it might cost her everything. What she doesn't expect is to fall under the mercy of Yexu, the beautiful runaway prince from a rival kingdom. Blessed by the night, harboring a dangerous magic and capable of commanding an army of deadly vampires, Yexu could be the key to Fae gaining more than just her freedom. But to outrun destiny, Fae must spark a wave of events that will change the world as she knows it. Torn between two princes and plagued by nightmares of bloodshed, she finds that the stars might be more inescapable and more irresistible than she ever considered before." All right, so that's it for our rolls. Of course, you know that a few months ago I started adding 2 extra prompts to my TBR. So we're going to draw out of my TBR hat and then roll my TBR dice. Here is the hat. As always, just a warning, I haven't updated this in a while, so there is a chance that I may pull out a book that I've already read, that kind of thing. So, let's see what we get. Oh, I can tell what this is through the paper. This is Muse of Nightmares. Oh, this is the sequel to Strange the Dreamer, and for ages and ages I've been scared to read it because I loved the first one so much, but people keep telling me the second one's really good, so I guess we're reading it. All right, so here it is. It's chunky. Of course, I had to draw a large book out. This says, "In the wake of tragedy, neither Laszlo nor Sorai are who they were before. One a god, the other a ghost, they struggle to grasp the new boundaries of themselves as a dark-minded Minya holds them hostage, intent on vengeance against Weep. Laszlo faces an unthinkable choice, save the woman he loves or everything else." I'm going to pause here on the reading because this is a sequel. So in the first one, Laszlo, that's mentioned here, he is our main character and he's a librarian. It's a library he works in, right? Anyway, he tries to find the lost legendary city of Weep, and some things happen, and that's all I better say. All right, we're gonna roll our dice, and we better do it quick because my camera battery's getting low. So first dice tells us the location to find the book, and it says TBR pile. That's good because I need to diminish my TBR pile. And the second roll is the genre, and we're getting a mystery. What mystery do I have that I want to read? Who do we have? A Riley Sager book. Okay, I'm not sure what to pick, and my camera's seriously gonna die soon. So we're gonna grab Riley Sager because, yes, he writes thrillers and mysteries, and you're going with this one. So Final Girls, and there's one that's similar to this that's Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. They're different books, so don't get them twisted up. Okay, here we go. 10 years ago, college student Quincy Carpenter went on vacation with 5 friends and came back alone, the only survivor of a horror movie scale massacre. In an instant, she became a member of a club no one wants to belong to, a group of similar survivors known in the press as the Final Girls. Lisa, who lost 9 sorority sisters to a college dropout's knife, Sam, who went up against the sack man during her shift in the nightlight inn, and now Quincy, who ran bleeding through a woods to escape Pine Cottage, and the man she refers to only as him. The 3 girls are all attempting to put their nightmares behind them, and with that, one another. Despite the media's attempts, they never meet. So I'm going to stop reading there just in the interest of battery strength and time, but you get kind of the starting idea. Okay, we're going to hurry and hold up the books. Okay. This is my giant September TBR pile. Pray for me, please. Also in September, I'm going to be finalizing plans for Craftoween, and the prompts will be released during the month of September. I'm not sure when, so keep subscribed with the notification bell so you know when that comes out. And we'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.